Hi, in honor of Halloween, I'm going to tell you one of my favorite scary fairy tales. You won't find this one in a Disney movie, but like other fairy tales, it begins with Once Upon a Time. Once upon a time, there was an old man who was as ugly as he was rich. He had a frightening bright blue beard across his face that made people believe he was a wizard. And in addition, he had had many wives before, but no one knew what had happened to them. He was courting the two sisters who lived next door to him, going back and forth from one to the other, until one day he lost his patience and whisked the eldest one away to be his bride. When they arrived at his mansion, he said he had to leave on a business trip, and gave her 3 things: an egg that he told her to keep safe and with her at all times, a key that opened up any room in the house, and a warning. She was allowed to do whatever she wished with all his riches, go anywhere in the house that she wanted, but she could not go into the cupboard underneath the stairs. And with that warning, he went off on his business trip. As soon as he had left the property, she ran over to the cupboard under the stairs, desperate to see what was in it. And when she opened the door, what she saw was so horrifying, she fainted dead away, and the egg fell to the floor with a splat. When she came to, everything was just as horrible. This, you see, was where Bluebeard's other wives had gone. There was a basin in the middle of the floor full of blood and guts. There were heads mounted on the wall, a pile of hands in one corner and legs in another. There had to be 10, 15 women in there. She tried to put the egg where it had shattered on the floor back together, but there was nothing she could do. He came back the next day, saw that the egg had been broken, and flew into a rage. He chopped her up and put her in the room with the others. Then he went next door and took the younger sister to be his bride instead. Now this sister was more cautious than her elder sister. What she did as soon as Bluebeard left was take the egg and put it in a special box she found in the kitchen to keep it safe. Then when she went to the cupboard and opened it up, she was shocked, yes, but she didn't break the egg because she had kept it safe. She saw her sister's head on the wall and pulled it down, matching it up with her sister's torso in one corner, her hands in another, until she had found all of her sister's body parts and put them at least in one place together on the floor. But like I said earlier, some people thought that Bluebeard was a wizard, and they were right, because as soon as the girl had put her sister back together, she came back to life, whole and healthy once again. They embraced, and the younger sister hid her elder sister upstairs and waited for Bluebeard to return. When he returned, he was overjoyed that he had finally found a bride who would not look into his secrets. He took his key back from her and ordered her to start preparations for the wedding. Then he snuck off to his closet to make sure that all was as it appeared. That's when she signaled to her older sister. The two of them took his axe from over the mantelpiece and chopped him into pieces the same way he had done to his previous wives. With that done, they took possession of all his household and all his riches, reassembled the rest of his previous wives, and brought them back to life as well. So in the end, all lived happily ever after, with the exception of Bluebeard, who, frankly, got what he deserved. This is one of my favorite fairy tales, and the one I gave you is actually a combination of 2 different variations on the story. There's Bluebeard, the original of which I found in Andrew Lang's Blue Fairy book, and there's another variation called Fitcher's Bird that you can find in Grimm's Fairy Tales. And so I took elements from either story whenever I was telling it today. And